Okay, get in here. You know how we say that we watch the news for you? If you haven't watched the news all day today, your timing is excellent, Linda Steele.
Oh, I have waited such a long time for this day. Look who's being indicted. Oh yes, Donald Trump is finally going to face some consequences. This one has to do with the Stormy Daniels hush money porn star thing, but finally, people said it wouldn't happen.
It's happening. It's handcuffs, mugshots.
Oh, the mugshots coming.
Will he be able to run? This is huge.
It is.
Obviously, we'll talk more about this in the days and weeks to come, but we just wanted to bring you the news.
Just ponder that for a moment. Can we just slow walk into the show by talking about some things that we kind of left you with last week?
Right.
And one of them was...
Can I do this to get you in?
Yeah. So the president, the U.S. President Joe Biden, came to town and he spoke to the House of Commons. And he was saying, what was he saying? It was like, yay,
congratulations. 50% of the people in here are women. You should celebrate.
And this is what we saw the former leader of the Conservatives do. Oh, Andrew Scheer, that's the slow clap. I could barely stand to show you any consideration whatsoever. At least he stood up. Because there were others who didn't.
I'm so unimpressed with that. All of that.
I'm done with, can I just say that I am increasingly becoming fed up with politics. I don't care which party it is. I'm equally disappointed with all of you. How about that?
I support this initiative and endeavor, and I'm sad to say that I'm also equally disappointed in NHL players stepping forward to say how they're not wearing a Pride jersey. We have more of that. I think we're 3 weeks in now of talking about this every week in one form or another. I was going to
do, where's the little tiny violin? Like the Stahl brothers. Oh, well, since that other guy, I can't even remember, which other goalie it was who said, I'm
Reimer.
Right.
Yeah.
After he said, they were like, oh, he doesn't have to wear the Pride jersey. Oh, we don't want to wear it either.
Religious
and then they showed one of them wearing the Pride jersey, a Montreal version of it.
Of course.
He said, I've never worn it. I would never wear it. Oh, there's a picture of me wearing it. So anyway, the Vancouver Canucks are going to celebrate Pride on Friday.
Let's hope. I mean, there's still time for someone to
step up and
the
be
Canucks
an idiot.
Made this announcement on their Twitter feed, and we grabbed this shot just to be like, congratulations, you're doing the right thing, Vancouver.
The news never ends because also we've talked multiple weeks in a row about Chinese election interference, and the Liberal MP who's kind of at the center of everything, who's been accused of having conversations that are inappropriate with Chinese diplomats and officials and what have you. He came out and said, yeah, I am suing. I'm going to sue Global News for these stories about me because there was an allegation that CSIS told Global that this Han Dong had gone and met with some Chinese official and...
to slow the roll on the 2 Michaels release, right? Like that was
doesn't make sense. He thought that the release would benefit the Conservatives, not the Liberals.
But he basically...
None of us knows. So they said they're going to sue. Still hasn't sued yet.
But that's just it. Did they though? Or was that just a... political? I don't know, Linda. It gives me a reason to just be like,
I hate politics. But should we talk about Cascadia?
We love our sponsor,
our friends at Cascadia Liquor. We talk about them, and you might think, I don't know, where is Cascadia? Well, if you're on the island, you're super privileged because they have 12 locations, and everyone I know who's gone said they love it.
It's like a high-end experience. You go in there, premium brands, and the selection's amazing. They deliver. If you just go to cascadialiquor.com down there, they're supporters of our show. They want independents like us to...
locally owned and operated. And so this is the Cascadia Pour of the Week. This is it in my glass. This is it on the screen. It is a rosé from Cedar Creek, which is in the interior of BC. And I will tell you that this is actually lovely. Rosé, summertime, you gotta have some rosé in your glass.
It's like the cherry blossoms outside. Linda, when our open of our show was rolling, you said it's almost like that outside right now. For the time being, if you're watching this on the repeat on Sunday and it's freezing cold outside, we are gonna get some more weather. Well, that's springtime on the west coast, on the south coast of BC anyway, but we'll take these beautiful days when we can because it's snowing back east.
Oh, I know. I put a picture of the cherry blossoms. I was on the seawall and was like, oh, stop, click. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, it's gorgeous.
You're such a brat.
We have some really interesting stuff on the show today. We always do, but we have some really interesting guests
Tough
and
topics
subjects.
today.
One of them is about this horrific Starbucks stabbing that took the life of a 37-year-old Vancouver dad while his daughter and wife watched. It's crazy, and it had a lot of people asking Jody. There were people watching it, filming it, just sitting there having their coffee as this guy is bleeding out on the floor of Starbucks.
Bystanders.
So why didn't they do something?
Yeah.
We're going to have a social psychologist from UBC join us to talk about that.
And talk about, like, wait, is it situational, or is it where we're at now, and the temperature, the divisiveness, no, I'm just going to take care of my own. You know, there's a lot to this that could play into it. So I'm really looking forward to...
I know, and you'd like to think, I would just jump right in there and help. But
Azim Sharif's going to join us.
Maybe you wouldn't.
It'll be interesting.
We're also talking about spiders. I hate spiders. But
how about an 8-foot spider?
This is an artwork done by a sort of a rogue, I don't know, is that what you call them? Artist named Junko Playtime.
Yep.
He uses recycled materials. They make whatever, and they make these giant sculptures.
Yeah.
And somebody complained about it. Said, I don't like that.
Well, it's unsanctioned, right? It's unsanctioned. So then we're going to take it down. And then there's the Save Spidey campaign. We're going to talk it all through. So stay tuned for that and give us your thoughts on our social media. Get back to us. You can always contact us, steele@checkmedia.ca, vance@checkmedia.ca. We do read our emails. Thank you to everybody who sends them along. We do get our emails. We're also going to have a conversation. Obviously, you and I remember Dr. Stephanie Green, who was on talking about medical assistance in dying. And you brought up at our weekly meeting about how, you know, talking, like, it's just all around us. A lot of people getting diagnosed with things.
Around
and
us.
it's scary. And it's like, have you planned for your death and taxes, man? It's what we're all going to experience, taxes, and ultimately everybody who lives dies. So,
and you've heard of a doula, which normally you think of as someone who helps bring people into this world. There are death doulas that help you exit the world, and there are some of them in Vancouver, and we are going to have one on our show. Her name is Amy Wood, and she is the Vancouver death doula.
We are looking forward to that
doula,
conversation, and it's not all about the bad of it and the weight of it. It's about peeling back the layers of taboo and really talking about it, because you can leave your loved ones in the lurch if you haven't at least planned a little bit. But right now, though, we got to dig in because time is short and the list is long. It's time for...
Oh my goodness, where do we even start?
Portapique. Let's start with Portapique because that... Portapique, sorry.
So this is Canada's worst mass murder in Portapique in Nova Scotia. This is where a gunman dressed up like RCMP and drove a vehicle and what have you and murdered 22 people.
Yeah, just about 3 years ago.
Horrific. So there was a big inquiry and they released 130 recommendations this afternoon, and 75 of them were about changing how the RCMP do what they do, in particular contract policing.
Let me save you from people coming at you on RCMP and policing and whatnot. I'm going to read the actual quote that I pulled here. It's like, the report took aim at the RCMP's response to the crisis on almost every level. It called out a lack of preparation, a lack of communication, and a lack of leadership. The report took aim at the RCMP's response to the crisis on almost every level, and it called out a lack of preparation, a lack of communication, and really not protecting the citizens of Portapique the way they could have. It went on for hours instead of alerting people that this was an ongoing active shooter situation, and 22 people, as mentioned, killed.
Calling for some major changes with the RCMP.
Let's get to budgets.
So we had a budget. There was a little bit of good news for, depending on who you are in Canada, groceries, grocery rebate, which is really just a bit of a tax cut on your GST for certain lower income Canadians.
Thank goodness, because I can't imagine. I mean, it's hitting everybody, but people who were stretched to the thinnest degree before this all hit, I can't imagine. Can't imagine being a single mother making food for the family on a fixed income, and all of a sudden
with
it's
teenagers.
Oh my gosh, right? You're hearing my... See, I can afford my groceries, touch wood, but I think of those who can't, and I really hope that this budget helps people who are struggling mightily right now.
However, what really annoys me about this budget is that there was zero attempt to try to get the deficit under control. No, do you remember when they said, in a few years from now, we're going to balance
this
like,
budget?
No. Whoosh, throw it out the window. And I'm a bit of a fiscal conservative, and I would just like to, sure, during the pandemic, we had to shovel out hundreds of billions. I get that. It had to be done. I don't begrudge the government that at all. But they haven't seemed to stop that spending.
Yeah, reining it in. No, we get to pay for Charles and Camilla coming on over.
Oh, geez. Like, that was $2 million. What I would like to say is that I don't care if I never see Charles and Camilla again in my life. Nothing against them personally. I just don't care.
They should come, but they should pay for it.
Then they wouldn't come.
Exactly. So let's not do that. I want to talk about this real quick. We're shorter on time and long on topics, as I keep saying, but the Vancouver City Council has ruled on bear spray and pepper spray, and this is something as a mother of a teenager, my son and I have spoken about this because there are swarming and sprays that are happening with teens, and it's a real issue, but it's also a real issue when it comes to violent crime. What are there, like 3,000 incidents of bear spray being used in violent crimes over between, I think it was 2018 to 2022? Remarkable numbers. So trying to get a cap on this is really important.
Vancouver Council has just unanimously agreed that you cannot sell bear spray to people under the age of 19 without a whole bunch of different things. Can we also, because we talk about prolific offenders all the time, some video that we showed you on this show before of an art thief in Vancouver. He sort of like tootled in, walked in, picked up some statue, was worth a ton of money, did it twice actually.
Yeah, they were waiting at his house, or they found him at his house because they were like, oh, this is the same guy as last time.
$40,000 worth of statues. Guess what he got, Jody? Guess what his sentence was?
I can't.
1 day in jail. 1 day. Sorry, I'm slapping you because it makes me crazy. However, he did spend 2 months in
Where's
jail.
the justice?
Yeah. Oh, can we bring this? This one's for Derek.
Oh, dial all the way to Crocs.
Crocs.
This is
I don't
for
have
Derek.
any.
This is for
Derek has several pairs.
Our producer,
And
Derek Wong.
We mocked him a bit until it turned out that John Horgan, the former premier, also loved his Crocs.
Yeah.
So Crocs apparently just took off during the pandemic. Sales were up 200%. They're not going down. So apparently Derek is a lot smarter than we are.
Fashionista.
I can see his
Yeah, see, he's got his Crocs on right now.
white Crocs.
We need a Croc cam.
A Croc cam.
Okay, later in the show, we're going to talk about public art, and certainly everyone has their taste. There's an uproar over an unsanctioned spider we will discuss.
Also still ahead, making sense of random violence. Strangers mourn the stabbing death of a young dad at a Vancouver coffee shop. And the question is, would you have intervened? We're talking about that next.